hello, and thank you for joining me. The first nor'easter of the year is approaching, and this storm is expected to bring a significant amount of snow. A low-pressure system is forecast to strengthen rapidly as it moves up the East Coast, and this storm will be capable of delivering a widespread snow event from Ohio to Maine. A broad area of 4 to 8 inches of snow is expected, but the primary concern is that a narrow corridor of 1 full foot of snow could fall if the storm takes just the right path. Cities such as Albany, Worcester, and Boston are certainly in line for some of the heaviest snowfall depending on where the most intense snow bands develop. In addition, this winter storm could bring something that the last one did not. This includes the risk of ice accumulation across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even the Ohio Valley, and this storm is going to have many of the classic nor'easter impacts. We are expecting heavy wind-driven snow, rapidly deteriorating travel conditions, and the potential for coastal flooding and beach erosion near the shoreline. Snowfall rates could exceed 3 inches per hour at times, which would create near whiteout visibility and make travel dangerous, if not impossible. So in this forecast, we are going to break down precisely what you need to know about this upcoming nor'easter and how it could affect your plans for the start of the work week. And before we discuss the nor'easter, I did want to mention that yesterday's winter storm was truly historic across the Midwest. Many areas like Des Moines and even back over in St. Louis ended up receiving some of their highest snowfall amounts for a single day that we have ever recorded in the month of November. Over in Des Moines, they had right around 1 foot of snow, which is one of the top 5 snowiest days in their November history. And back in St. Louis, the storm certainly overperformed. Many areas were reporting around 8 inches of snowfall. So far, our highest reported accumulation has been a little over 15 inches of snow near Fort Dodge, Iowa. And even over in Chicago, the storm overperformed with nearly a foot of snow in some areas. If you have any snow reports from your neighborhood, please do let me know down in the comments below. I am very interested to learn what your snow totals were in your specific area. Now, let's talk more about this upcoming nor'easter. I would like to begin with what is happening this morning. We do have some snow still falling across Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Later this morning, we will continue to watch for at least some lake effect snow back over in far western and northern Michigan. However, it is going to be very concentrated and very localized. So we really will not be picking up much more snowfall today across most of Michigan. By this afternoon and into the evening, some snow will fall in far northern New England, but generally speaking, no more than 3 to 6 inches of snow is in the forecast for that area. As we go into tonight and tomorrow, you might think things will quiet down, but they will not, because we have 2 different areas of energy that are going to combine tomorrow. We will have some snow that will be coming right over the Rocky Mountains. So that is one area of moisture, and then we will have another area of moisture coming up from the Gulf. These 2 areas are going to merge into one system late on Monday. Before late Monday arrives, however, we will have some light snowfall throughout the morning across parts of Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska. A little bit of freezing rain is possible in far northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and southwestern Missouri, which is certainly a concern because any freezing rain or sleet that occurs could lead to some ice accumulation. Please keep in mind, it does not take much freezing rain for ice to form on the ground. It truly only takes a few drops for ice to accumulate with how cold the surface temperatures are going to be. Which is why this is so concerning, especially since some of these areas may not have pre-treated their roadways. So please keep that in mind. On Monday, during Monday afternoon, we will continue to see some light snowfall across Illinois and back through Kansas. A little bit of freezing rain is possible in southern and central Missouri and also across northwestern Arkansas. So there could be some ice accumulation in those locations. Late Monday, we are going to begin to see these 2 areas of energy essentially become one, and we will have a much larger winter storm forming as we head into Monday night. The snow should become a bit more widespread across areas in the Ohio Valley. I expect snow to be filling in here across Ohio, Indiana, and also northern Kentucky. Freezing rain is possible anywhere from northeast Arkansas back into western Kentucky, and then just a great deal of rain across the southeast, perhaps with a couple of isolated severe storms. As we move into the overnight hours, that snow is going to become much more widespread in its coverage, and we are going to have heavy snowfall across Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio, as well as Pennsylvania and New York. However, this will be a very fast-moving snow event. This is a rapidly moving winter storm system. So overall, many of these areas are not actually going to accumulate that much snowfall. The winter storm that we dealt with yesterday was much slower than this one, and it was also much more expansive. This particular system will be moving very quickly from west to east. So most areas are only going to experience about 3 to 6 hours of snowfall. By Tuesday morning, that heavy snow will be blanketing the Northeast across New York, New England, and most areas of New England. In fact, the only areas in New England that I believe will not see snowfall are southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, and Cape Cod. There will be a possibility for ice accumulation in areas like Maryland and West Virginia, and perhaps even in far northeastern Tennessee in the higher elevations. By Tuesday at lunchtime, heavy snow will be ongoing across most of New England, New York, Pennsylvania, and far northern New Jersey. And then, by Tuesday evening, most of the snow will be winding down. The only snow remaining will be around and just north of Boston, back through Maine, and then perhaps a little bit left over in Connecticut. And there could be a small amount of light snow as we go into Tuesday night across the northern plains and the upper Midwest, but overall accumulations there will be quite minimal. Now let's talk more about the potential for both snow and ice accumulation. I want to begin with our snowfall accumulation forecast. This is the latest forecast from the National Weather Service. And please notice that generally speaking, we are not expecting a widespread event of 1 foot or more of snow anywhere in the Ohio Valley. Again, this is a very quick-moving system, and it is also going to be relatively weak as it moves through the Ohio Valley. But I do think a reasonable one to 3 or 2 to 4 inches for most of Ohio and Indiana, and Pennsylvania will be on the table. There could be some localized areas with higher amounts than this, but across the board, the snowfall accumulation in these regions is not going to be that significant. I honestly think this could be a slight overestimate. I am not certain if we are really going to see that much snow. We will have to wait and see tonight what the models are truly showing. But I do think areas like Kansas City, back through central Illinois, have a possibility of a coating to 2 inches with perhaps a localized spot up to 4 inches of snow that cannot be ruled out. But overall, it should be quite minimal. The ice is one of the bigger concerns. This is a very big question mark as well right now. This is the NAM 3K model, which shows a much larger ice event happening across Arkansas all the way through Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. An event like this would almost undoubtedly cause cancellations for school plans in many areas on Tuesday, but it is not yet certain that we will see ice this widespread. The National Weather Service forecast is much more localized, and it is mostly in Arkansas and also in eastern Kentucky and West Virginia, especially over in the Appalachian Mountains, where we could even have a small cold air damming event happen. But back over in Arkansas, that is where there is a better chance of a glazing of ice, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch of ice is on the table. So please, if you are in Arkansas, make sure you're staying extra weather aware on Monday because there might not be treated roads in many areas, especially the side roads, which means things could get very slick very quickly. I also believe that this is probably not going to be as widespread as this particular model shows. I think if we do see ice accumulation, it will probably be more concentrated up here in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. We are going to have another video, most likely either tonight or tomorrow, talking more about this. So please make sure you are subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon so you are notified of that latest update. Now, the Northeast is a different story. I do think we are going to see a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snow for most of Pennsylvania, New York, and New England. There will likely be some localized areas closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow, especially where those heavier bands of snow align, particularly in southern New Hampshire, southern Maine, and also central and western Massachusetts. This is also the National Weather Service forecast. It is about the same as the HRRR model, which is what I just showed you, but it does show some more localized areas that are actually higher, more like 8 to 9 inches of snow back over northeast Pennsylvania and southeast New York. So, to say the least, yes, there is a possibility here for a winter storm, but generally speaking, this is going to be a very quick-moving nor'easter. And it does not look to be nearly as major as what many models were showing a couple of days ago. If anything dramatic changes in the next 24 hours, we will have another update for you. So, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. For this upcoming winter weather event on Monday into Tuesday, we are expecting at least minor travel impacts anywhere from Kansas all the way back into Pennsylvania and the Northeast. If you are in the orange shaded area, that is where moderate travel impacts are possible, which will be mainly across northeastern Pennsylvania. There are also a couple of areas like Little Rock and back towards Fort Smith that could have moderate travel impacts on Monday as well. That would be due to potential ice accumulation, so please stay tuned. We are going to have updates on our social media pages like Facebook and Twitter at Max Velocity WX. You can find the links to our social media pages in the description below. Now, beyond this upcoming winter storm, we are going to have a few more problems on our hands during the middle and end of the week. This winter weather event will move out late Tuesday into Wednesday. One other thing I do want to point out is that this nor'easter is going to bring fairly strong winds to the northeast. So just a heads up wind gusts around 30 to 45 miles per hour are going to be on the table on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday and Thursday, high pressure will build along the East Coast. We will have a little bit of snow across areas in the Rockies and also the upper Midwest. However, accumulation is not really expected out of this system, at least anything significant. I mean, we could see an inch or two, but that is nothing really that noteworthy compared to what we have recently seen. Over these past few days, from Wednesday into Thursday, some snow is possible across the Northeast, but please know we are not expecting a significant event. It should be mostly light snow. Then late Thursday into Friday, we could see some severe storms redevelop along the Gulf Coast. At the very least, heavy rainfall and potential flooding could become a concern there on Thursday and Friday, so please be mindful of that. And as we move toward Friday and into Saturday and Sunday, there is a very slight possibility at this time that some winter weather could emerge across the mid-Atlantic. We have a great deal of cold air moving into the United States right now. I know for many of you waking up this morning, it is quite cold, and unfortunately, that trend is going to continue. So one thing we will have to monitor closely is just how cold it will be over the next several days. That cold air could certainly trigger a winter weather event farther south later in the week, as there is a lot of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. So a possibility is certainly on the table for later this week, but I do not believe it will be anything like what some of the computer models are suggesting. Then by next weekend and into the early part of the following week, the forecast becomes more uncertain. One of the computer models is showing another potential nor'easter for Sunday and Monday. Now, if that were to happen, we would have to wait and see what develops. But again, it is simply too early to say with any confidence what will happen there. I do believe one thing is for certain, however, we are going to continue to see a very active weather pattern for the next couple of weeks. Even though there is not a major winter storm in the forecast beyond the system on Tuesday, I do believe we will see at least 2 more before Christmas. After the holiday, things will most certainly be active in January and February, as is the case in most years. So, I do hope you will subscribe to the channel for the latest, most accurate details on all the winter weather that is headed our way. Now, our temperatures over the next 7 to 10 days are going to be quite chilly for a large portion of the United States. At present, we have a significant area of cold air surging down to our Gulf Coast states. It is going to be very cold across the Central Plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast through Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday and Thursday, that wave of cold air will move across New England. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, another push of cold air is likely. This particular one will be much more impactful for the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast on Thursday. So conditions are going to remain very cold across the Northeast. Then by next weekend, yet again, another wave is coming to the Northern Plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley. We are likely going to see more cold air during the second week of December. This is shaping up to be a persistent pattern of cold air affecting the United States throughout December. This is certainly one of the more active starts to winter we have experienced in terms of both snow and cold air in quite a few years. The Climate Prediction Center is in complete agreement that we will continue to see below-average temperatures across the Midwest, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic at least through the end of the first week of December. In contrast, above-average temperatures are more likely across the Rockies, the West Coast, and also in the Southeast. Now I have 2 very important announcements to share with you. The first is that I am going to be on vacation for the next 7 days. This will be my only vacation of the year, and I truly have not had a proper break in a very long time, so I will be away for the next 7 days. However, I am planning to continue providing a video every single day, as long as the Wi-Fi on my cruise is cooperating. I will be on a cruise ship, where the internet service can be quite unreliable, so I am not entirely sure what the situation will be once I am aboard. I will certainly keep all of you updated right here on YouTube, and of course, if you see a video from me tomorrow, you will know that everything is fine and that I have a good internet connection to upload our daily updates. That is the hope as of right now. My other important announcement is that this is one of the final days to take advantage of the Black Friday sale on our website, shopmaxvelocity.net, which you can find at the top link in the description below. If you use the code Black Friday, you will receive $5 off any order of $50 or more. We have our new cheese curd collection, which features my wonderful cat available in our store right now. We also have our Supercell collection, Happy Holidays merchandise, and many other items. And as a friendly reminder, if you would like anything delivered before Christmas, you will want to place your order within the next week or 2. That will help ensure it is delivered on time. Thank you all so very much for watching. Again, we will be back in the studio in about a week, but in the meantime, we should still have our videos every day just from a remote location. Thank you for your understanding and for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video.